Welcome to another episode of Just Talk with Gabe. I'm here, my sidekick is here.
Here.
And so is our guest. Let's get started. Who do we have on today's show?
Today we are continuing with our Season 4 fun with actor, producer, and host, Kash Hovey.
And this will be a good interview, but before we get started, let's give a shout out to our sponsors, Fade Life Clothing, BCK Online, and Link PR.
Fade Life Clothing is a unique clothing line out of Atlanta, Georgia, geared towards those who love intoxicating style.
BCK Online is a digital online magazine that keeps you in the know and up to date, provides young entertainers, rising stars, parents, and much more.
And our new addition to the family, Link PR, is definitely the missing link to your success in the entertainment industry.
I'm glad both Fade Life and BCK are back for another season, and welcome Link PR. Alright guys, go grab your snacks, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Kash, welcome to the show. We're glad you could join us for an episode of Just Talk with Gabe.
Gabe, thank you so much for having me.
Man, thank you for being on. So let's get into it. You are an actor and producer and host of your own show on Air With Kash. So tell us how you got started in the industry overall.
Wow. Well, I was always performing when I was a kid. Growing up in LA, I had parents in the industry, so I was able to visit sets. I was just always mesmerized by every aspect, just watching actors work and the directors. And I started making my own films when I was probably about 10. Yeah, we have a couple of things on VHS that we would just kind of cops and robbers stuff or whatever, whether it was Mortal Kombat or whatever we were mimicking in our Ghostbusters, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you know it. And then when I was about 15, that's when I did a showcase, got an agent. And then I did a couple short films. I made some stuff in college. I booked a couple commercials. And then I actually did take a break. And then I got into, when I left, when I graduated actually college, I was working at a voiceover studio, and then I got back into acting. I got a manager. We collaborated on 2 films, and here we are now.
Oh, that's a great start.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Definitely. As an actor, what would you say is your favorite genre to portray?
I really do enjoy drama.
I do.
Yeah,
I do too.
I like characters that are layered and that are complex, and especially when you have, and it's such a teamwork filmmaking too. So when you have the cast and the director, and we're all sharing our visions and really bringing it to life, it's just magic.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Drama you can do, I think, like a lot with, more so than I would say any other type of genre.
See, I admire you guys as actors. I don't think I could do it because people are looking at me. And so I would just, you're in this big dramatic scene and you look up at, a grip or a director, and then I would just probably go, okay, I'm going to go back to my little cubby hole now. So I admire you guys.
It's fun. You can get it.
It's fun. You can do it. Yeah, it's fun doing something big and dramatic in front of like hundreds of people.
Yeah,
staring at you with lights and cameras and mics.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's fun. Kash, what is the one project as an actor that you've done that you relate to the most?
Wow. One of my, the first starring film I had was a movie called Jack and Cocaine. It was about these 2 characters that were struggling with addiction. And at that point in my life, I'd lost a few people because of addiction, and so it was kind of a subject that was relatable to me. I'd lost some friends, a few relatives who unfortunately aren't there. So I felt, and then there was a vulnerability to the character of Jack as he's struggling, but then there's a positive outcome in his journey. And then there is a love story and about connecting and coming to terms with your past. So I remembered really just being able to connect with that character, and I was trying to bring my own life experiences and losses to it. And I feel like it was one of the roles that really just challenged me as an actor.
Oh, wow. That sounds like a very good one.
It does.
Thank you.
Who would be your dream acting collaboration and why?
Oh, wow. I'd have to say I'd love to be in a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. I just watched his new one, Licorice Pizza, and I've been a fan since Boogie Nights, Magnolia.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's so... It's just, I love his writing. And I mean, especially with Boogie Nights, that was a movie that I studied so many times because the characters are so interesting. And I just felt like I was watching it to find out more about the characters. And you just look at that cast. You had, Mark Wahlberg, Burt Reynolds, Don Cheadle, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Julianne Moore, Heather Graham, and everyone. I think that's what I get out of his movies the best. Even with Licorice Pizza, I mean, for me, it's it's even though it takes place a couple decades before I was growing up. A lot of his movies just really, I feel like they capture the time and the people, and it's just always a fun experience.
That's good. I still need, you know what? I still haven't seen Licorice Pizza, so
I haven't
okay.
seen any of like the movies that have been nominated for the Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just getting my screeners in, so I think they should be on your way too. And I know it's playing at, I think a couple Lemley theaters are playing it, but it's a great movie. It takes place in the 70s, and it's really about this. I mean, I actually can relate to the kid because I remember being 15 and being in the industry and kind of having older friends. You're trying to be more mature and adapt to the adult world, and it was just so it's like those things that he puts in there, like, wow, that was me when I was 15. I totally remember those experiences.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
Okay. It's on I can't wait. It's on my
Yeah.
list.
Yeah. If you could write the perfect role for yourself, what would it be and why?
Wow. I'd like to play a character that the audience can really connect with. I'd like to play someone who's flawed, but he's trying to be a good person. And also, like I said, I like people with or characters with layers, because I just feel like that's where it goes. So yeah, I mean, I think just a great performance with a great cast, and just really, I'd love to just create a great complex character. And if people find it relatable, that's awesome.
That's good. That's yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I would want to
I
create a character that people can relate to.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's so important when you're writing your characters, and that people can relate and find a little bit of themselves in it.
Yeah.
So that's perfect, Kash.
Yeah.
As a producer, which project has been your crowning achievement and why?
As a producer, well, I really would have to say right now, On Air with Kash, because this really just came up as an experiment. I had been listening to podcasts. I was getting into it, and a colleague of mine, Michael Rosenbaum from Guardians of the Galaxy in Smallville, he turned me on to his podcast, and we were working together, and I just really like the art form of connecting with people that I admired. I was like, wow, that's such a great art form. And so when the pandemic happened, this really started us with we were just doing Insta live stories with other colleagues as a way to stay connected and finding some fun activities. And then my dad got me the On Air with Kash sign for a birthday, because I made a home studio setup, and kind of the show was born, and it's one thing created the next thing. And it's really allowed, and also gave me an opportunity, me and my mom, to work together after all these years. So she's one of the producers on the show, and we're able to celebrate some wins at Film Fest LA Live, which is always nice. So yeah, I'd say right now, this is kind of where I'm at.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
I mean, you get to work with your mom, and not a lot of people get to say that. So that's really awesome.
Exactly.
Now, you're continuing down this production road, being a producer. Who is your A-list team to produce on a project, and why?
Oh my goodness, that question, I could answer that so many different ways. That's always hard, because there's so many different movies I just love, and different directors, actors, actresses, producers that I like for specific reasons. But here, I'll tell you this: if I had the opportunity I wouldn't turn down a Tarantino and DiCaprio collaboration.
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to just throw this out there. The universe is going to grant that.
Yeah, and I want that too.
I am going to be you all's PA.
Yes, you got it.
I'm making Starbucks runs for everybody.
Yeah, as long as you're in the room.
Exactly.
You rock. That's awesome.
Okay, so you are the host of On Air with Kash. How have you seen yourself evolve as a host from your first show until now?
Wow. I feel like it's been great to connect with every guest that we have on, because I talk to other actors, producers, musicians, filmmakers. It's always fun when we have a conversation and we discover that there's some kind of connection, whether it's someone else we've worked with in the past. It's always fun when we start discussing and a project comes up and you realize there's like a 6 degrees of separation between, like, oh my gosh, we were both at that festival at the same time, or at the same time or at different times we were working with this director, and here we are now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what's the one thing that actually hosting the show has taught you that you couldn't have learned if you were just being an actor or a producer?
Wow. Really, I mean, hosting, I had done some hosting prior. I had been doing events prior to the show, into the pandemic, which are fortunately opening up now. I think really I started just doing more. I would learn more about the other actors who I've either worked with or who are doing other great things. And
Right.
yeah, I think it's really that, just really doing the research. And I know a lot of it's always nice when I connect with someone, period. But then it's nice too when it's like, oh wow, it's sometimes I'll bring up something that they're like, wow, you actually saw that movie of mine, or it's, because I mean, a lot of people that I have on, I feel like I've shared a connection, or there's been an interest in, like, some piece of work that they did was meaningful to me. So to be able to sit down and talk with them, it's like, wow, I really want them to know how much I appreciate their time and the work that they've done.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
Now, Cash, who has been the most memorable guest on your show and why?
Oh gosh, we actually just had Carrie Elwes on around the holidays.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
really?
Yeah, that was I watched his movies since I was a kid. I mean, Princess Bride was definitely my favorite.
Yeah, that was a
And
good one.
That's a good
oh,
movie.
it's a classic. I mean, me and my friends that and Ghostbusters and all these other things, I mean, that was definitely a character I would dress up as. We're always doing sword fights and stuff. And actually, it's funny because I became friends with him when I was at a, oh gosh, I'm totally gonna name drop it as part of the story. So when I was a teenager, I went with my parents to Nicolas Cage's Halloween party. It was awesome. There were
Nice.
so many people. I was like, oh my God, so and so's there. And I was at the time I was really into Stanley Kubrick, and so I went as Alex from A Clockwork Orange. And Carrie was with his wife, and he kind of passed by. He's like, mate, I really like that costume, and I realized who it was. And I was like frozen for a minute. I'm like, you were my first costume ever. And he was like, great, that's awesome. Let's take a picture together. I don't have that Polaroid, but we've since taken numerous pictures together since and became friends. So yeah, he's been that was really cool. And then to have him on the show.
Cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And so when he, we became friends. We've attended a lot of his events. He's always been super cool to me and my mom, and thought of us. And I reached out to him around the holidays when he had his new movie with Brooke Shields out, Castle for Christmas, and we came on and we did our thing, and it was really remarkable.
Oh, that's
That's
awesome.
awesome. Right. We're gonna go to a commercial break.
Okay,
Go for
Cash,
it.
would you stay around for some fun coming back?
Absolutely.
Okay, guys, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the show, everyone.
Oh, welcome back, guys.
If you've not downloaded the Anchor.fm app,
Do it.
Start making your own podcast today, and let's get back into the show.
The fun round.
All right, Cash. What is your favorite city and why?
I got to shout out LA. I love my town.
I love LA, yeah.
Exactly. This is my home, but I do love traveling. New York, London. I've done Las Vegas. So yeah, and I love exploring new places as well. But I got hats off to my town, LA.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
LA's the best, I would have to say.
Mm-hmm.
If money was no object, what would you buy?
If money was no object, you know what? I'd put it all into making a phenomenal film with just really the cast and just some of the questions we were fielding earlier, like just really putting the dream team together, and then really finding just really getting parts to a lot of my team and my colleagues who have been there from the start. So I'd really want to put it into a great project.
Oh, that's good. That's a very good idea.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Cash, would you rather dance like nobody's watching or watch the person dancing?
Oh, I'll dance like nobody's watching.
Oh yeah.
I'd break something if I tried to dance.
Yeah, you like a hip or something?
Yeah, no, not a hip, like everything.
Why not? It's the weekend rolls around. Yes, you just want to throw everything aside and let's party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Gabe would watch us because, we don't necessarily want him on the dance floor because it might get a little dangerous for us all.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Without
definitely.
the moves?
No. With
What
detriment to dancers and everything.
What? Why? What do you dance?
I do not dance, and that's
Oh,
the problem.
Yeah, we've tried to make it happen, and
Yeah.
let's just say we have not had any success yet. We're
Yeah,
gonna keep trying.
We're gonna get there one day. One day
Alrighty.
I will dance.
Just get out there and go for it.
Yeah. Which fictional character would be on the top of your list to meet in real life?
Wow. You know what? Gosh, growing up, Back to the Future was probably my favorite movie, and so
yeah.
I'd say Marty McFly. I'd love to go back in time and ride a hoverboard and do all that fun stuff. And yeah,
that would be fun.
Still
we'd have fun to
around
do
for those
someday.
flying cars.
Oh yeah, we still need flying cars. Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
we do. DeLorean flying cars.
Yes.
Exactly.
What is the most ridiculous thing that someone has ever convinced you into believing?
Oh wow. I had such a wild imagination when I was a kid. Like I said, we were always making movies and dressing up and doing stuff like that. So, if you told the 5-year-old version of myself and my friends that we could be real life Ninja Turtles and Ghostbusters, I think we probably believed that at some point in time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, who's your favorite Ninja Turtle?
Oh gosh, I was always a Michelangelo. Love
Oh
Michelangelo.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Michelangelo's the
definitely.
best.
He's the party dude. No, he's the guy who will dance like no one's watching.
That's
yeah,
true.
that's true.
With some pizza in hand.
Yep.
Exactly.
What was the last movie that you watched in a theater?
In the theater, that was House of Gucci.
Oh, how was that?
How was that?
I was I saw it in the theater and actually just watched the screener again. I thought the acting was great. I really wasn't familiar with the story until watching it, so it was one of those movies that I really enjoyed. I thought everyone's performances were excellent, but then after leaving the theater, I went home and I was doing all this research because I was so fascinated with the story.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, we gotta get around to watching that.
We have to. We
Great
have
movie.
to.
If you could only take 5 things for a desert island, what would they be?
Okay, definitely water. I'd need books. I know it's a desert island, but if it's my world, I'll put a plasma in there so I can watch my content, and then I would and then if I'm on a beach, yeah, let's get a surfboard and a jet ski, and I'm happy.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Awesome. Now, if your life was a movie, what songs or like what type of genre would you want the soundtrack to be?
No, I think any Panic at the Disco album would be a great.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Now, which movie, in your opinion, needs a sequel?
Wow, we live in a time of franchise films and reboots. I think a sequel nowadays is pretty much guaranteed. If I got to be honest, I'm not much of a sequel person. If I love the original movie, and I think a lot of the movies that like I absolutely love that stand alone, I don't know if I would actually want to see a sequel to it.
That's true.
Because sometimes a movie does really well, and of course I get it from a business perspective. You have to go, but there's always that thing. I'm just never satisfied, or I'm holding on to the original rush that I got from the first movie. But
Right.
yeah, but I do have to say there have been a handful of sequels that have really held up. Whether it's Godfather 2, Terminator 2, yeah, just there's very few classics. So yeah, let's find out and let's see if there's another movie that comes along that can prove me wrong.
Yeah, that's true. You hit the one I was gonna say, Godfather 2.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
the one Terminator 2. Yeah,
exactly. Legendary films.
Absolutely.
But I think like maybe Dracula Untold needs a sequel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Have you
Yeah.
seen that one, Cash?
I have, yes.
Oh
I
yeah.
love that movie.
That was a
good,
good one.
yeah.
That one definitely needs a sequel.
Mhm.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'd vote for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got all our votes.
Would you rather play Monopoly or Clue?
You know what? I'd say Clue because honestly, I don't think I don't know if I've played Clue. I remember playing Monopoly a lot when I was a kid, but I don't have a memory of Clue. So
Yeah, I don't
I'd
have
like
one with Clue either.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'd like to go back and have a new memory of that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now you have one person to give a shout out to. Who is it and why'd you pick them?
Hey, I'll give a shout out to my mom. She brought me into this world. She's been supportive my whole career, and now we get to work together. Love you, Mom. Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome. What is the one piece of advice you would give to kids who want to be in the industry?
Wow. I really believe in yourself and be passionate about what it is you want to do. I'm not always one to give advice because I'm more like I like relating to people, and I'll tell you my story, and if that helps you along the way, I look at that as a win. I feel like because when I was younger, I really wanted to be in the movies, and I was really into acting, and I was really just passionate about my career. And then like I was saying with Licorice Pizza, it's like that movie, or even like Almost Famous. I just remember there were times when you feel like you're in this adult world and a lot gets thrown at you. And I felt like there was a period where I just, even being in the industry, I had a lot of experience, whether it was loss of friends or just experiences that you had being in the industry. And I was holding on to some memories. And so it made me not want to be in the industry for a bit. So I went to college, I got my degree, and then, but I'm glad, but some people, they're very talented and they can just get out there and they have successful careers. But for me personally, I needed to go through, I needed to go to college, and I needed to get an education and learn some new things. And I felt like that journey in itself for me, and I was able to find closure with some of the past and some of the experiences I had, and then get on with really just have a career. I learned business, and then when the industry came back around again, I did Jack and Cocaine and Undateable John, and I've worked with some great people. So really, I think it's just really don't lose track of what's important to you. And if you're really passionate about it, just go all in. And I think too, really surround yourself with people who encourage you. And, you're going to meet certain people who let you down or say they're going to do something for you. But as long as you make it through and you learn something from that experience, it's a part of life. So just, yeah, I'd really just say, be passionate about what you're doing, stay strong, and, get through it. Believe in yourself.
That's great advice.
Definitely. In addition to all that you have going on, what's next for you?
Wow. I'm currently working on a film now. We're supposed to wrap in a few weeks. And then there's a few more projects that I'm developing with a couple different teams. So I think it's going to be a good year.
It sounds like it.
Yeah,
it's going to be great.
Like it. Right. What is the one thing you want our audience to know about you?
Yeah. I'm an open book. If you're interested in something, drop me a line.
Okay.
That's great.
That's great. And then the final question, where can people find you on social media?
Yes, I'm on all the Twitter, Instagram's mainly the one I use. It's my name is Kash, Kash. Last name is Hovey as in Victor, EY. Those are my handles on all the social media sites. And then I also do have an Instagram for On Air with Kash. And that's also our YouTube channel, On Air with Kash. We have all of our episodes. And I love connecting with artists. Feel free to drop me a line or give us a shout out. And I appreciate your input.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Kash.
Thanks so much, Kash. We have enjoyed having you on.
Definitely.
It's been a pleasure being on. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Did you guys enjoy the show? I know we did. Thanks to Kash for joining us today. Check out On Air with Kash and make sure you tune in next week for our season 4 finale. See you guys later. Peace out.